Hi guys, today it's Cheryl here, Around the House with Cheryl, and today I'm participating in a collaboration hosted by Casey over at Coffee with My Sunshine and her co-host Jessica at Measure and Mix. And you had to find something that was trash. You were bringing it back to treasure, and I had this old sunflower with a mirror on it, and I decided to take it down and paint it. If you saw the beginning of the video of what it looked like before. So what I did here is I just took some patio paint that I had in this bright yellow color, and I just put it onto the tips of the sunflower, and it's metal. So I had to be careful not to cut myself. So I ended up putting, I think it ended up being maybe 2 coats. And so that's what I'm doing now. Hope everybody's being safe and doing okay. I'm just going to keep putting this around onto the sunflower. I love painting on things. And so whenever I see something around the house that I want to refresh, I'll just grab it. But this sunflower, I had my husband spray paint it for me first. The inside where the mirror is, he spray painted it orange. And then he spray painted the outside before we took the mirror out. After. We took the mirror out, and then he spray painted the rest of it black. It did have to have a little bit of sanding to kind of clean it up, because it was hanging on a fence outside, and I thought, let's clean it up, and I want to put it back where I had it, but he was like, nobody will see it, but I'll see it if I go over to my cutting garden. If you haven't been over to my garden, I'm going to link a video below so you can check out my gardening playlist. So we're just going to keep putting this yellow patio paint, even though it's patio paint, after, maybe a year or two after it gets a lot of water or moisture on it, it will start to peel or crack. So you may want to seal it. I haven't decided what I want to seal it with just yet. If I want to use the Never Wet that I picked up a couple years ago, I think last year maybe, from the Dollar Tree. And I'll link that below if you're interested in the Never Wet product. Sometimes it'll change the colors on paint when you use it. And I'm not sure if I use the Never Wet on here when I'm finished, if it will make the colors flatter or brighter. So if I decide to use Never Wet, I'll let you know, but I still would like you to know about the product. So just check in the description box below. And we're about finished on this first coat of patio paint. Okay, guys. Okay, so here I'm putting on my second coat. And if you're new here, welcome to my channel. I appreciate it for anybody that's been supporting me. And if you're new, consider subscribing and hit the bell so you don't miss out on videos that I do around the house. Okay, so we're getting on this second coat. And I got the second coat on. Putting a blue border around the mirror. And this is not a patio paint. This is a blue acrylic paint that I had, and I'll try to list everything that I used in this. But everybody is not going to have one of these metal sunflowers that I think I got it from a flea market. And I just had it outside on my fence for years, and I decided to freshen it up. I love painting on things, so why not? Okay, so then I started putting on these little black and white like checkerboard, and I'll show you a little quick. All I did, I freehanded it, put some little black squares, then I came back in with the white squares, and then I went, in between each little square, and then I went all the way around until I had all of the squares done. But I just wanted to stop and show you how I did the part with the checkerboard. It's not perfect, but I like to do a lot of freehand painting, and that's what I did here on the outside of the blue trim on the sunflower. So the next thing, you see me in the mirror, the next thing I did after I finished the checkerboard, I decided to use some orange paint to highlight the tips of the sunflower. And so I went around and did that on each tip of the sunflower. This was probably the easiest part of the project. So I hope you stick with me so you can see what the final project, how it turned out. I was really pleased, and I think it is so pretty. Okay, so I got all the orange done on the tips, and then I decided to put some dots on the blue section. And what I did is I also did kind of like some little, after I got the white dots on, I decided to do some little flowers. And at least I thought they were flowers, but when I looked at them closely, they didn't really look like flowers. So I embellished them with a couple of other things. They were kind of square, or almost the shape, I thought, of a butterfly. So I made them into little butterflies. And so, like I said, freehanding, things change, and I decide what I want to do after I look at it. And so here I'm just making from dots, just using the tip of my paintbrush in different colors, making little flowers here by just doing dots. I love doing dots. I'm not a dot artist, but I'm practicing to get better at my dot work. And so here you see I'm just making some little dots, trying to make some little flowers using different colors that I just already had in my stash. And so we're going to come up so I can show you what happened with all these dots. So I'm just doing it quickly here. And so we got all the dots on. See, I came back and decided to add some little pink and turquoise dots. And I thought the flowers looked like the shape of butterflies, so I added a little bit of antennas and little dots at the end to make them look like butterflies. And then I just decided to paint around the border of the mirror because it was just orange and I didn't like that, so I ended up painting around there, and I put some dots, and I'll show that to you in a second. I think it came out really pretty. I was just using some green chalk. No, actually it's acrylic paint. Here you can see I finished with the flowers and the dots, and then I have this glow-in-the-dark paint. So I decided to use the glow-in-the-dark paint on the tips of the sunflowers so that at nighttime it will glow in the dark. Sorry I'm a little bit out of the camera, but that's pretty much all I did on the tips. And I wasn't quite finished because at the border where you see the mirror, I had went in and painted black over top of the orange spray paint. And I'm going to go in there and do some dots. So I'm sorry if this video seems long, but if I did it real time, we'd be here for 2 hours or more. But I just wanted to share with you how this turned out. I thought it was a fun project, and I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I will see you guys on the next video. Stay tuned for the pictures